So, I am driving home, as should be obvious, and I figured I'd make a video while I was driving, and see how it turns out. Hopefully, it turns out looking good. I set you down near, at the bottom of my console area, below like the radio and the AC controls and such, because I can't operate a phone while driving. It's illegal. And I use my camera for my phone for my camera. But basically, I just got out of my church service, my Sunday church service, and I figured I haven't made a video today, and I didn't make one yesterday, and I was in the mood to make one. So here we are. I wanted to talk about people who are rude in the workplace. Oh man, it is hot in here. I don't have the AC on because it makes this terrible white noise in the background of any video or phone call I ever do with my phone. It's terribly hot. Anyway, so I work at a noodles and company, a place we make, as the name would imply, we make noodles, and salads and sandwiches, and I think it's delicious because it's fantastic. But I often work at the register, where I do what we call expo, where we put garnish and cheese and other stuff on the foods, and we make sure that they're all packed in bags for the to-go orders and such. Or you can do the salad, and this is all the stuff that's up at the front, that you see going on, and then there's other stuff in the back. And there's the salads, and there's people who run dishes to tables. And yesterday was a very, very busy day. And I'm at a red light, so I can use my hands more now. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm working, and I'm taking in orders, and it's very, very busy, and I'm slammed, and I'm working, I'm pushing, I'm working, and I even got behind in a few things that I usually have to do. And there's people around, and finally I get this short little break in between people coming in and me having to take orders at the register. And there's a lady who's just sitting there, and she seemed to be a little uncomfortable. She was sitting here like this, like tapping her foot and a little angry. And so from behind the counter, I got her attention. I said, "Have you been helped, ma'am?" Thinking maybe I could help her. Maybe she's doesn't realize that she needs to step up to the register. I don't know what's going on. And she says very, very angrily, "Yeah, I've been waiting for my meal for 15 minutes. And I said, "Well, I'm sorry. I know that it's the middle. We're slammed. It's the middle of the work. It's the middle of the rush time. It's a Saturday. It's lunchtime. People are coming in for tons of food. You want me to check on your meal real quick, see if it's coming out, see if we're making it, what order it's in?" And she says, "No, I want you to know something." And I realized in that moment that I was about to be very, very sad. Because she starts to lay into me, and she gets very angry, and she says, "I have been here, and I placed a to-go order, and I've been waiting for 15 minutes, and my food's not ready, and I need it out, and I'm busy, and I'm in a hurry, and I need to go, and I expected my food to be out sooner, and it's just not acceptable." And I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm very, very sorry that it's taking so long. I apologize. Do you want me to check on it for you?" And she says, "You better check on it for me, because this is not acceptable." I said, "I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. We're running behind." And I felt bad, because I know what it's like to be in a hurry. I know what it's like to order food and it take longer than usual. And she says this to me too. She says, "There were people who ordered after me who have been helpful for me, and I've been here longer than these other people." And she's very, very angry about it. And I understand that's a valid concern. But I look back at her order, and her order was huge. And the way that our noodles company does the orders is it's kind of two things. It does it based on who's been here first. But if there's a small order that comes in, say somebody just wants like some bread, or somebody just wants like a quick little salad made up, and the salad person's not making up a salad right then, and they'll just make up a salad for them. You know what I mean? We get little small ones out of the way, even if they weren't placed immediately first. she's livid. She's very, very angry with me. And I understand that. I get it. You're angry. Like, I've been late before too and expected my food out, and I've been waiting around for food to come out before too. I've waited for like an hour and the food still wasn't even ready, because I went to this place once. I went for prom and we sat there for 45 minutes because we had a huge group of people in our prom group. And we waited for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes for the food to finally get out. And we're sitting around and we know that the dance has already started. And that's the way it is. I mean, it's tough and it sucks, and I understand. And on occasion, I've asked to speak to a manager or to a waiter. And if I'm speaking to a waiter, here's the difference though. Here's my pet peeve in all of this. If I'm talking to a waiter, right, I understand they don't work in the kitchen. They don't control how fast food gets out. They get the order back to the chefs, back to the managers, back to the people, and then it's up to the kitchen to get it out. I understand that. The waiter's just somebody who is just an intermediary between the two of us. They can't be held accountable. And on occasion, I'll ask, I'll pull my waiter over and I'll go, hey, we've been waiting here for a little while for the food. We're getting hungry, or we have somewhere to be. Do you have an estimate on how long it is? We'd like you to bump it ahead. We're really, really busy. We're a little late. Can you see what you can do? Or if it really is getting obnoxious, if I'm in a situation where other people are seriously, just tons of them are being served before me, and I'm late and I need to be somewhere, I might say, hey, can you bring your manager out? Because it's your manager, or maybe the chef, it's their job to get the food out to me on time. It's not your job. And they'll bring up the manager, and the manager will say, yes, sir, what do you need me to do? And that's who you get angry at. Please, please stop getting mad at the person who runs the register. Please stop getting mad at the waiters. Please. I felt terrible. And I felt like it was my fault, and it's not my fault. I know it wasn't my fault. I knew up here it wasn't my fault. I had no control over what food was getting out. But here, it really hurt my feelings. Maybe I'm just more sensitive than I should be. And maybe it shouldn't bother me this much. But it just hurt my feelings. And I've had stuff like that happen before. I had one lady, and I'm probably talking longer than I should be. I'm actually driving a little bit extra past my house. Because I want to extend this conversation, and because my mom's having this gathering of a bunch of people at the house, and there are cars in front of where I want to park my car, and I don't know where to put my car. So I'm just kind of going for a quick little drive to explain this. But anyway, there was another time where you can call in, or you can place an order online, and if you call in an order, you come in, we pick up the phone, we say, hey, there's Noodles and Company, and the place, this is Dalton, how can I help you? And they say, yes, I'd like to place a pickup order, yes, for the name, you run through the order, it's great. And it's a really good way to get your food on time. Or you can place it online. And if you place it online, there's a cool feature, which I think is awesome, that you can pay online as well. And when you come in, it shows that it's been paid for already, and the order's paid for, and you just come in and you say the name, and we run over and we grab it for you and pick it up and we give it to you and make sure the order's right, and we hand it to you, and you're out the door in like a minute and a half. It's great if there's no line, right? Well, this one lady had done that, and I wasn't aware of the ability that we had to do this, and so I didn't know to look to see if she paid or not with an internet order. And so I asked her about it. And she says, I didn't ask her about it. She kind of just picked it up and she walked out with it. And I wasn't sure what was going on. And I turned to my manager, and my manager looked at me, and I was like, I don't think she paid. And my manager said, well, go run after her. Go see if she paid. And I run out, because I'd kind of half-asked her if she paid. And she kind of just mumbled something and walked out the door. And she seemed like she was on edge that day, and I understand that. And she was very angry. She was, I paid! Yelled it through her window, and she had like 3 or 4 massive dogs, big dogs. How do you fit these in your car? Kind of dog sitting in her seat. And she's, I paid already! And she's very angry at us. Oh, well, I'm sorry. And I ran back in and I checked her receipt, and she had paid. and it was an honest mistake, and I wish I could have gone and apologized to her. I felt bad about it. But the next people who walked in the door made comments about it, and they wanted me to agree with them. They were like, she handled that really poorly. She was not very nice about that. And of course, I understand that they're customers. It's my job to be as nice and understanding as possible. And so I understand that she could be having a rough day, or she could be in a big hurry, or maybe she has to get food home because she left somebody at home, or I don't know, like a child she left at home. I don't know what's going on. But I don't know. She was a little angry, and these other customers were like, yeah, she was not very nice about that. And I said, I understand. Maybe she was having a hard time. But it hurts me a lot more than I'd like to realize. And I'm taking this forum as a weird way to talk about it and air my grievances, because it bothers me a lot more than it probably should. So basically, the general point is, don't be mean to waiters. I've gained a huge respect for people who do register, people who do waiters, and people who are honestly trying their very best to just be as nice to you as possible. And sometimes, and I have another story that I'll go off on into a later video, about some people who work as cashiers or registers, or people who work at the fast food who honestly have it a bit hard. They're not very nice to you. And in those cases, maybe you should, I understand if you get a little short with those people. But for the most part, I try to be as nice as possible. Even when I have headaches and I have a cough and I'm feeling awful and dreadful and tired and I don't want to be in work at all, I smile the entire time. That is my goal, is to just smile through all of work. Even if I'm sad or unhappy or angry, my goal is to just smile as much as possible and hope that it goes over well. And sometimes I think they don't get it. And so, basically, the thing is, just be as nice to your waiters as possible. Please. I mean, honestly, they do everything they can for you. I do everything I can for you. I know that I'm trying to be as nice as possible. I've been told by customers that I am the funniest guy that they've met today, that I brighten their day, that I'm an excellent communicator, and I try. I really do. I think it's less skill and more. I just put in effort because I feel like it's important, even in a small job, to be as good an employee and as good a person as possible. And people don't get it, and it hurts my feelings when they don't. And 90% of people aren't like this. The majority of people are as nice as possible. But on occasion, you get that person who's a little mean, and I just try not to be that guy, I understand you might be having a tough day, but just do your very best not to be that person, that guy or that girl. And I think we should all just do that. I mean, be a generally good person. And that's all I had to say. So thanks for watching.